Hello! Welcome to the Mark Mates Comics YouTube show, Halloween special, Spooky Tunes. I hope you're all well. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? Yes, I can't think. I think we last did a show back in July, just as the summer holidays were about to begin. The summer holidays, he says, as we'd all had 6 months off school, but it was time for a quick holiday, wasn't it? Yes, I think that was the last one. And oh, hang on a sec. Right, so you might have noticed a couple of things that have changed. Yes, possibly I look a little bit older, and my beard's a little bit, longer, and maybe a little bit grayer. But I've also had a bit of an incident since you last saw me. If you can identify what that is, then please put that in the comments. I've got a few little Halloween kind of decorations going on there. I've spared no expense. I've got my little skeleton here, as you can see. Look at that. He's keeping me company. I also have, and so yes, and so I thought today would be great fun to do, because Halloween this year is a little bit different, isn't it? We can't do Halloween the way we want to do. We can still go out, and we're going to do like a thing where you can. Here in Macclesfield, where I live, where you go around and you see all the pumpkins, and every time you see a pumpkin outside somebody's house, then your parents give you some sweets. So there's no knocking on and any chance of getting too close to people, so we can keep nice and distant. But it's all different, isn't it? So that's why I thought I'd do this today. So if it's different, let's make it different. I didn't do this last year, but this year I'm doing it. So yeah, and I also said if you wanted to dress up whilst you were drawing, then you are more than welcome. It is Halloween, and I've got a few little comments here. So I've got Choco Cake 79. I know your friend Choco Cake 78 very well. Dressed as Pac-Man Ghost and a spider and poised to draw. Andrew Hazel. Emily is concerned about my injury. Injury? Emily, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. I'm feeling good. John Byrne. John Byrne, is that John Byrne? A big John Byrne from Marvel Comics, who drew many amazing comic books, X-Men, Alpha Flight. He drew Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. He did an amazing run on the Fantastic Four. Is that John Byrne? Me and my boy Jamie are watching. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. And there's a lady here. What's she got there? There's a little symbol. It's like a drink. Oh, I know exactly what that is. How are you alive? I'm just living La Vida Loca. You know me. Hello from Douglas. Hello, Douglas. Not to be mistaken with Douglas. If you're a fan of the show, if you watched the show during lockdown, I had a decanter to decant my water, and he was called Douglas. We named him Douglas, but unfortunately he broke. But the Douglas that's watching now, he is not broken. He is 100% in one piece, or at least I hope. I've not seen him for a while. So yes, as always, this show is supported by the fine folks at the Lakes International Comic Art Festival. And if any of you are tuning in after seeing me do some live drawing with them a few weeks ago, then hello, nice to meet you. And I hope you've maybe enjoyed those little tutorials that I did. And what I'm going to do today, I hope you're all well and you're all feeling good. You know, the world's a crazy place still, but you know, it's the way it goes, isn't it? It's a crazy place, but there's still time. How are you alive? There is an axe in your head. There's an axe in my, oh my gosh, look at this. There is. It's an axe in my head. It was just an incident. It's just another Saturday morning incident. I think I've got it the wrong way around. It was one of those ones that, the handle's like, and it just went straight into the head like that. It was just a Saturday morning incident. I was chopping some firewood, slipped, straight in there. So I thought today that so just to refresh, this is a little bit of a refresher. The things you're going to need, obviously, you're going to need some paper, okay? So you can go with the A4 paper, you can go landscape, you can go portrait, you might have A3, you might be a bit of a show-off like that. That's fine. If you want to have A3 paper, then you can go for it. I have my flip chart here, Philippe the flip chart, just named him, Philippe the flip chart. And Philippe is here, so I'm showing off. But I do that big, because if I'm drawing on a piece of paper on my desk, you can't see what I'm drawing. So I do it nice and big on here, okay? I will take some requests, but this is going to be, and we might do that towards the end, having some trouble with my entrails here. I'm taking some at the end, but I've got a few little things I'm just going to show you, some spooky little things. Oh, my axe, oh God, it's dislodged. Oh my God, oh, don't do that, it's digging into my brain. So you're going to need your paper, Okay, you're going to need some pens. Now, I always have my pens in a suitable container, and today I have it in a special Halloween trick or treat thing. So let's shake the pens, shake your pens, okay? I'm not doing it too loud because I have a gentleman with me. His name is Jerry. He is a cat or a kitten, and he's just looked at me to say he wasn't with us when I did my drawing shows in the summer or during the lockdown. He only joined us in August, and so my glasses are all. This axe is making my glasses bent. That's okay, don't worry. I can still see. And so he is in my office here, and he's basically looked at me as if to say, "What are you doing?" Okay. So we have our pens, nice and full. Okay, we go with the Crayola markers. Still not had a call from Crayola just yet for a big sponsorship deal. So anybody from Crayola watching, then please feel free. And pens, paper. You need to stay hydrated, okay? Stay hydrated. I go with the classic. Look at this rascal, okay? The classic Corporation Pop. One for me. One for my homies, my spooky homies, okay? So, guys, what we're going to do. So, yes, nice to see you all. Hello, please feel free to say hello. At the end of the show, I'm going to launch my new comic, Spook Kids. Check this rascal out, okay? It's online on Ko-fi.com. Can you see that? Let's keep it focused. Ko-fi, it's a bit blurred, isn't it? Why is it so blurred? There you go. I don't know. It doesn't look blurred. I'll read it out. I'll hit you up with the deets at the end. So, I've got some pens. So, and also, if you want to call in, feel free to call in the phone. The lines are open, okay? So if you want to call in, feel free to do that, okay? So we're going to go with. I've got a little bit of a spooky kind of list in my brain here. So what we'll go with the classic. The classic. Now, what is the classic? You're asking. It's Council Juice. Council Juice, Corporation Pop. I was going to have a nice glass of blood, but I don't tend to drink blood until after dinner. So it's a bit early for blood for me. All right. Little sips. Keeps the lips hydrated. Okay, hydrate. Right, so I'm going to turn here. So, oh, hey, watch out. So, we're going to go with the classic pumpkin. So remember, if you remember as well, I have to put a little line in here. This my it looks like I've got less space here than I usually have. Let's push that back a little bit. Let's give it a little bit more space. So, who's ready? So you can draw along with me. I'm going to do a few little step-by-step, like Bobby Brown kind of drawings. And you can draw along with those, or if you want to freestyle, it's a fake axe. It's not a fake axe. Look at it. Oh, it's really hurting. Don't expose me. So yeah, you can draw along. I go fast. I go slow sometimes. So we're gonna go. Let's go pumpkin. So pumpkins are great. So we kind of do the shape like that, and I did them more just sort of straight. You can kind of. It's basically a circle, but kind of don't do a perfect circle. You kind of do just kind of like you kind of like it's almost like a circle with kind of not hard edges, but it's kind of a curved square. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of a square. It's not a circle. It's kind of a square. That's how you're going to get your best pumpkin shape because they're all different shapes. Okay, so. It's kind of like a curved square. So imagine this is a square here, and you've got the curved edges. And then we're going to go in with the little thing. It's the little thing, okay? And it can be it's a stalk or it's a little thing. It's a pumpkin's it's a little thing on top of the pumpkin like that. And then you do the little details for the detail fans, the little knots. It's kind of like a little bit of a tree, isn't it? A little bit of a trunk. So you could even put a little tree trunk kind of little thing in there. Let's just say it could be a mutated pumpkin, couldn't it? It could be a mutated pumpkin. So we got in here. Now, obviously, we carve out the eyes. So if you want now, you can do whatever kind of eyes you want because that's the whole beauty of pumpkins is that you can do whatever you want. There's no one saying that's not how you can do it as long as you cut in a hole in it and you've got to be careful. But as long as you cut in a hole in it, and whether it's eyes, it could be one eye, it could be two eyes, it could be three eyes, nose, mouth. So you can do whatever shape you want. So I'm going to go with my usual kind of eyes. I kind of like them like that. They just look it's kind of like, okay. And then we're going to go with the nose, okay, or the nostrils, okay. It's weird, because when I'm drawing my cartoons, I don't put that much detail into my characters. I never draw nostrils, okay, as they say. That's how they say it in France, nostrils. or maybe in Transylvania, actually, nostrils, nostrils. Okay, everybody say nostrils, nostrils. Okay, so I don't draw nostrils. But when I'm doing pumpkins, I do, because you have to. So you can colour that in. I'm doing the key line as orange. I'm not going to colour that in. We don't tend to do a lot of colouring in. I'm just doing fast and loose, and then you can just do the thing like that. Now, if I'm honest, whenever I do a pumpkin mouth, anytime, whether I'm drawing it, cutting it out, I always think about Charlie Brown. Okay, always. Because I don't know if you've seen the fantastic Great Pumpkin cartoon, Charlie Brown. It's a classic, and some of you might never even seen it. I strongly recommend you watch it. It's a tradition in our house to watch that, and you've got to check out that, because it's just a classic little animation from the 60s. I think, yeah, it's the late 60s, 66 maybe. And I always think of Charlie Brown, because they have the pumpkins and there's some carving in there. Snoopy's having a bit of going up to his usual hijinks. You know, he's like, I said I wasn't going to colour in, but I'm colouring this bit to give you the full feel of this. So let's do that. Right. So let's get this in now. We can just keep it like that, or we can do like this. I'm going to do like that, you know, get the old googly eyes going in there. So these are basically the reverse of what I usually do. Usually I do the circle, and then with the black the pupil, the black pupil inside, but this is the reverse. We're switching it up, okay? Anything goes on Halloween. I'm going to be here till about, what time are we on now? Oh my word, we're 11 minutes in already. I'm going to be here till about 11:45. So, you know, make sure you're ready for anything. So here we go. So, oh, look at that. Beautiful. I love when the colour just fills in like that. Beautiful, right? Don't worry if there's little gaps. And then you can do kind of like little things like that. Just get the little lines in nice and thin. You know, just flick them in there like that. You know, a bit of the old flickaroo, like that. Okay. And you can do little things under there, because it almost looks like it's a line. So there you go. It's your classic pumpkin, okay? Complete with nostrils. And yeah, so how simple was that? Now you can draw as many pumpkins as you want. And again, pumpkins are all about experimentation. You can just draw. How is that a nose? How is that a nose? That's nostrils. You can yeah, you can draw whatever you want. So once you've got the basic shape, again, the shape can be any kind of shape. You know, you can kind of do, you know, they kind of just grow in funny ways, don't they? So you can, you know, you can curve it around like that. You do like that, and then you could do an evil one like that, or like that. This is a bit more of the classic one, isn't it? Like that, the classic like that. You can do the classic one like that. Here we go, and just thicken that line up a little bit. You don't need to fill it in. You just kind of thicken it up. Just a bit of thickening there, and get that in there. And then, you know, it's a thing that people are doing, and we've done this. You don't even have to carve pumpkins these days. It's quite nice just to get you a Sharpie and just go to town on the Sharpie, with the Sharpie on your pumpkin. And you can do all these fantastic patterns. So you could do little eyebrows kind of thing like that. You know, you can. So people are doing that. It's quite a cool thing. Because carving a pumpkin can be a bit tricky at times. So, yes, so we got two pumpkins. It's the classic. So, again, stay hydrated, folks. One for me. One for my homies. That's you guys, my Halloween homies. Halloween homies. So, we got the pumpkin. So, again, feel free if you've got anything you want to drop into the comments of what any spooky drawings, but I've got a little mental list prepared. So, you know, you can go with the classic ghost. Let's get a ghost in there. You know, ghosts are, again, it's kind of, you know, this is like the classic cartoon kind of ghost. It's kind of like a sheet. So it's almost like the whole Scooby-Doo thing, where is it actually a ghost, or is it somebody underneath the sheet, that kind of thing. Again, if you go back to the old Charlie Brown, these are things that you'll see in there. Yeah, check that out. Let's have a see. So we do a ghost here, and so I'm giving him a mouth. Why not? And he's got, let's have some flailing arms at the back. So this is how he. Oh, do you know what? I totally forgot. And no one's even reminded me. None of the my regular viewers have even reminded me. I was just getting carried away. But you've got to put in we've got to put in a line here. Okay, you've got to put in a line here. Middle of rusty, you see, I'm not doing it for a while. You've got to put in a line here, because if I go below this line, then you guys are not going to be able to see what's going on. But a line is quite boring. Okay, you can't just have a line. You've got to go with the classic. Yes, what do we do? Yes, nothing below the fish. You've got to draw a fish. You draw yourself a fish in here. It's the first rule of cartooning. Nothing below the fish. I'm telling you that for a fact, okay? If you draw anything, if I draw anything below that fish, look, you can't even see him, but I know he's there. Look, check it out, check it out. He's there, the fish. If I draw anything below that fish, you guys can't see it. It would just be insanity for me to even think about doing that, so I'm not going to. He's happy under there, he's under the water, he's under the line, he's under the water, but he's my marker. I know, but don't worry, there's space here. We fill it up later. My children come in and we do a little bit of drawing, and even Jerry, the cat, my associate, might even grab a felt pen and see what he can come up with. So yes, I was just admiring my pumpkin here. Again, these pens are fantastic, and I strongly urge you to pick up a pen from Crayola, my friends at Crayola, because you get these you can get these nice thin lines just with one felt pen. You get these nice thin lines by doing the point, and then you turn it on its side, and you can get these fat lines. So you see how the line gets thicker here. So you've got some real variation where you can press on a little harder, or even pull back, which is weird to think. But if you actually pull back and don't press on as hard, you get this really soft kind of brush, which is really cool. So let's get the old ghost here. So he's got his hands here. Let's get them like that. Like that, and he's kind of like, and then here we can now add some of our little sound effects, which connects up again to how we take our drawings and connect them to comics as well. So if you remember, we can do things like this. We could do here. We could just write the classic boo, right, and then do this, okay? And we all know what this is. This is yes. Oh look, so remember, point and turn. So point and turn. If you try to go in for it like that, if I try to go in when I'm looking like that, I'm going to miss it. See, I'm aiming for the bubble, but oh, nearly got it. But it's best. You can't. I can't see the fish. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So this is a speech bubble, and if you noticed, I did the word first, the bubble around it. If you do the bubble first, then the words, you might not have enough room. In this case, you probably have enough room for one word. But if you were doing multiple words, like a sentence, a character saying something, you need to draw the words first and do the bullying around it. So that's a speech bubble, okay? This is, as we know, this is a thought bubble. Yes, a thought bubble. And he could be thinking about, what could he be thinking about? Drop that into the comments and we'll come back to that. What could a pumpkin be thinking about? Okay, and it's got to be one word because well, it could be. I could do another one down here. If you've come up with something really good, then we can upgrade this bubble, this thought bubble, to one down here. So I'm going to leave some space here. But in the meantime, so we've got the speech bubbles and we've got the thought bubble going on here, and now we're going to do some sound effects. So you don't necessarily have to do the character, even if he's talking or saying something, having it come from speech bubble. You can just go with the classic kind of sound effects, and I like to tuck them behind like that. You just go in with the ooh, the spooky kind of wailing, the kind of thing, the kind of wailing you might hear when the children have run out of cereal. And there's a lot of, a lot of wailing like that. So they're just wailing, and like banshees. So there you go, woo, like that. And then you can really, and you can make them nice and big and different sizes, and you can just tuck that near the sound. So that's quite a cool way of adding a different kind of visual as well to your drawing. So putting the words and the letters become part of the drawing. I have to keep tucking in here because I don't want to block my drawing, but I want you to see my face. Hello. Pie. Yes, there you go. Pumpkin. Pie. He's thinking about pie, or he's thinking. I hope I don't become a pie. So you could put this. I hope I don't It's a bit of a rhyme there as well. Don't become a pie. Okay, and then we can do the bubble, this thought bubble, and then do. Ideally, when you do the bubbles, a thought bubble, ideally you want it to be kind of coming from like where the thoughts come to the head. But in the case of this, it's just a bit of fun. You know, we're here to have fun. Drawing, as I've said many, many times, isn't about skill. It's not about skill. That sounds crazy, Mark. What do you mean? I thought I had to be really good at drawing. No, you don't. It's about confidence. It's about just doing it. It's about getting your pen, getting your piece of paper, and just going for it. That is what drawing is all about, okay? Remember that, kids. Remember it. And remember to stay hydrated. One for me. And one for my Halloween homies. And you can feel free to share the drawings that you've done today. Alice Miles, hello, Alice Miles. You can feel free to share the drawings with me today. Hashtag Mark Makes Comics, M-A-R-C, that's Mark with the C, M-A-R-C, Makes Comics on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and even Carrier Pigeon. I've got a couple of Carrier Pigeons that are working for me now. They're on the payroll. I've not had to furlough them yet, which is lucky. So they'll be available to collect any drawings that you leave outside. Okay, right. So let's get something else in here. We need something that is kind of Halloween style. You know, I always like let's go with a little bit of let's upgrade a little bit, because Halloween is about sort of spooky things and creepy things as well. So let's go with a little bit of a monster. So I'm going with the eyes here. And we've got a little monster here. And I think I've talked about entrails before. We're safe to talk about entrails. It's not that scary. Entrails is basically just sort of bits of things left, you know, and like tentacles, you know, just things that seeping things, you know. It's perfect for Halloween, isn't it? Things that just seep and drip and ooze. Those are good words as well. You might want to write a few spooky words like ooze, all right, on your drawing, you know, and the best one will always win a prize from somebody. In fact, your parents might be there now just handing you sweets. Eat as many sweets as possible, they might be saying, because it's Halloween. Even you might have peaked early. So what we can do, he's kind of oozing like that. You can just have little bits of things that are kind of splurting off him here, or her. It could be a her, you know. You know, there's entrails are not just a male. They can be, you know, girls as well. Girls can be entrails too, you know. Remember that. Okay. so I can kind of see. So now we've got this space. Is he going to have a mouth? Is she going to have a mouth? You know, you can kind of do it like that. And we could do. Would it have teeth? Yeah, why not? Let's have teeth there. I like to just do the fork at that. Okay. And so my comic that I've talked to you about, Spookids, which is starting today on Ko-fi.com/Mark Makes Comics. It's a monthly comic strip. So it's a single page, and it features the characters of Eric Gomez II, Nellie Newton, and Bud Baldwin. What a lineup. 3 kids that go on a bit of an insane adventure after a bit of a mishap. I don't want to tell you too much, but you can check that out on there. You have to subscribe to the channel, but it's just £3. And you get lots of, it's not the channel, to the page. It's £3. But for that, you'll get the comic, you'll get another comic, my Magnum PI comic, a monthly Magnum PI comic. I post lots of other cool things that you can check out in there. So there's lots of cool things for subscribers to enjoy, exclusive things, okay, as well. Okay, none of these people who just come in there for the freebies. You know, it's exclusive. I reward those who support me. Thank you for doing that. And for anybody who's been doing that as well, a lot of you did that during lockdown. Thank you again for all the little cyber copies that you sent my way. I really appreciate that. So yes, we got some entrails, we got some dripping going on here, we got some seeping. It's all about the seeping this Halloween, okay? So feel free to draw me the weirdest, the creepiest, the spookiest kind of thing that you can come up with, okay? So let's have a. So again, if you want to drop me a comment in the box, you can do. You can send me a little thing. Oh, hang on a sec. Somebody's using the phone. Fantastic. Let's have a thing. That's so sick. Hello? Would you Adam believe it? I cannot believe it. It's Bill Murray, ladies and gentlemen. Bill, what are you doing up? Late night, Bill. Wow, Bill, you know, burning the candle at both ends. It's typical Bill Murray, isn't it? Bill Murray. I mean, I'm going to do the roll call. Ghostbusters, you know, a perfect film for Halloween. Ghostbusters 2. And I think you're going to be in the new Ghostbusters. You were even in the Ghostbusters that came out with the all-female cast, which I really like, Bill. Yeah, you liked it. It was a good film. So I don't know what was going on. Great film. You were in that too. And obviously, you know, let's do the list, Bill. Groundhog Day, Stripes, Larger Than Life. Sorry, Bill. Yeah, Garfield. Oh, Garfield. It's good. Garfield's good, Bill. Don't put yourself down. Ed Wood. That's another spooky one. Probably just for a little bit more of a grown-ups, but it's still a good one, isn't it, Bill? Still a good one. How are you doing, Bill? Anyway, you staying well? Staying well? Bill, staying well? Yeah, just keeping. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. You've got your proton pack on. You're wearing it in the house, Bill. Bill. You're one of my all-time favorite heroes, Bill. You've called in. Have you got a request? Of course. Bill, for you, Bill, anything. Everybody say back, Bill, we're going to go. We're going to let you get some sleep. But do not worry, Bill. I will draw what you will want. So you stay tuned and you're going to see it, okay? Bill, it's been great talking to you. Stay well, Bill, my friend. Bye-bye. Bill Murray, everybody. Bill Murray. Can you believe it? I can't believe Bill. That's a real thrill for me. Bill asked. Bill gets. Bill asked for a Slimer. Now, have we got Slimer from Ghostbusters? Obviously. Have we got room for that? Or should we... I'll tell you what we're going to do, because I just spotted a little request here as well in the comments. So is the request... Let's upgrade this now to a little bit of a mix and match up. So I'm going to drop in here. Let's get the old line in here where we are for the old fish. Okay. I'm going to do a dead fish because with it being Halloween. So this is how you draw things that are dead, and then like that. He's got a tongue, and this is again with cartoons. Do fish have tongues? I don't think they do, but in cartoons, so you can't even see. You think, what is he even talking about? Look, yeah, he's dead. You do little eyes like that, and he's got his tongue. He's an ex-fish. Okay, he's no longer with us. So Bill wanted a Slimer. Bill, what Bill asks for, I'm going to go. I'm not. What color am I going to go? I'm going to change this color. I'm not going to do the green, you know, because I'm a maverick like that. But I'm just having a look at the. Can you draw a spooky R2D2 in a go-kart, please? For you, Douglas, I can draw anything. So Slimer kind of comes like this, and then he's kind of got like it's like a potato kind of, you know, kind of like this kind of thing, isn't it? And then he's kind of got the bags under his eyes like that, and then I think he's kind of got a little mouth. I'm going to do the little teeth like that. Sometimes he has his tongue stuck out. He's kind of like a Slimer, isn't it? And then he's got like a little sort of chubby kind of belly. And then he's kind of got. It's my Slimer. It's my Slimer. You can't, you know, don't knock it. Don't knock it till you're drawing your own Slimer. And then I'm going to do his hands just kind of like that, tucking like that. This is kind of like the floaty ghost kind of typical hand. They kind of just have the hands kind of tucked because they're just kind of, you know, kind of hanging like that. And then he's slimy, so he's got his slime coming up in here like that, and he's ready to. He looks a bit worried actually. Maybe it's because the Ghostbusters are after him. Maybe Bill Murray, Peter Venkman is after him, and he kind of looks concerned, not too scared, which is good. So I'm going to do a couple of requests as well, and I've got my little mental list, obviously. Can you draw a spooky R2D2 in a go-kart, please? A spooky R2D2. So let's have a think how that might look. So a spooky R2D2. So there's you go start off with the R2D2. Can you see it? Got the entrails there, swinging. So we've got the R2D2, and again, what we're trying to do is capture a hint of this character. You don't have to have all the elements exact, because especially when you're doing things off the top of your head, you can't have, you know how certain things look, but it's all about just capturing the spirit of it. So we know that R2D2's got this kind of curved shape. Say it with me, curved shape. And he's got these kind of little circly kind of eyes kind of thing, and one's bigger than the other. And if you just do that kind of thing, people just, you say to somebody, well, who is that? And they'll go, it's R2D2. And you'll go, you're right. And then you move on. You move on with your life. You don't need to worry about whether it is that exactly R2D2. I'm stalling a little bit because I'm trying to remember. So Douglas wants a spooky art. Was it a spooky or a scary? A spooky. I'm gonna go. Let's have a think. A spook 2D2. Yeah, is that spook 2D2? I'm gonna give him some horns. Horns are a good sign, aren't they? For spookiness. Let's give him some horns. He looks like a bit of a Viking now. So there you go. But he's spooky. And let's have a think what he could be. I've got to think he's in his go-kart. Douglas, if you remember Douglas every week on my Freestyle Friday asked for something in a go-kart. And many Star Wars characters. In fact, here like that, and he's got his little legs here, so they're tucked in like that. His little legs are tucked in like that, and then he's got these little things like that, hasn't he? Oh yeah, there you go. And he's just going. He's spooky because he's just going ooh, boop, 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 like that. That's R2D2 does. He's doing spooky boops and beeps and whistles instead of the standard, not so spooky ones. And there he is in his go-kart for Douglas. How's that get you? How's that grab you, Douglas? Right, let's have a look. A vampire bat zombie. A vampire bat zombie. I was chatting over the summer to my close personal friend Charlie Adlard, who is the artist, or was the artist, on the Walking Dead comic book, and he knows all about zombies. So let's have a think what Charlie would do. So bats. Well, I'm going to do the eyes. I'm going to do the eyes like that. He's got the eyes like that, okay? And then I'm going to go with the bat ears like that, okay? And then they've got like little noses, and then let's have the tongue, and they've got little things like that. And then they've got a tongue like that, okay? And then it's, at the moment, it's kind of looking a bit like a fox, but don't worry, because we're going to have, here we go. So they kind of like, along, don't they? So let's get the wings here like that. This is just like a lot of, this is the great thing with Halloween. You just make a lot of noises. Okay, and then you're good to go. As long as you're doing that, then you're all right. Okay, so he's got his thing like that, and he's got his little and he's kind of he's kind of walking like this. He's got his little leg. You can't even see it. I'm going to move my entrails there so you can see it. And he's got one leg, and then he's got his other leg kind of like coming like this. And he's probably just been dug up. I'm getting dug up from the ground, but he's here. And do bats have tails? I think they do. He's got a tail. I feel like he's got. I don't think bats have tails like that, but this bat does because he's a zombie bat, and it grew. It grew on him, and he's coming out now, and he's and so you've got the ooh, and you've got the blah. Let's do a blah like that, and again, I like to sort of, you can tuck it behind the character as well, blah. So it's just like, and he's just, and there's a bit of dripping. Again, you make noises, draw things that are dripping, seeping, oozing, and you're good to go for Halloween. I'm quite pleased with that little there you go, point and turn. So one for me, one for my homies. Now, Big John Byrne, who's on. Big up yourself, Big John Byrne, a famous Marvel comic artist from the from the crazy 80s. I was a big follower of John. Fantastic Four, Alpha Flight was my particular favorite. Big John Byrne's watching. Big John Byrne has asked Jamie's asked for Luigi from Luigi's Mansion, and this is when things go a little bit haywire because I have no clue who that is. Okay, now I don't want to do a reference, or should I do a reference? I don't know, or do I just think, well, what does Luigi? Part of me thinks that it's Luigi from now. Luigi, when you say Luigi to me, I think of Mario and stuff like that, and I think of moustaches. Okay, well, But when somebody said, whereas if somebody was to say a moustache to me, oh, it is Mario and Luigi. Okay, there you go. If somebody was to say a moustache to me, I wouldn't think of Mario. I would think of Magnum PI. So whilst we're on, we might as well draw, a quick Magnum PI. Who I didn't know at this time last year how many times I would be drawing Magnum PI, and I have to say, or I'm giving myself, some props, as the kids say. Not props as in things, but props as in, enough props as in giving myself credit. It's street talk. You might not be as cool as I am, you see, so you might not know what that means. But yeah, just say, hey, give me some props. And yeah, so I've been drawing a lot of Magnums, and he's great fun to draw, and the comic is great fun to do. So there he is. He's still, and he's always got his little chest hair. And you can check that comic out. In fact, these cards are fantastic. Anybody buys a comic off me soon, in the next, for the foreseeable future, is going to get one of these little cards, these little rascals. Check this out. Flipperama. It's got a Magnum one on the back. It's like a collector's item. Look at that. Okay, it's a nice little promo. So, Mario and Luigi. So, we've got a little bit of space here. And we've got a little bit of space there. There's room here for something that's seeping, some dripping, isn't there? And so, but we're going to do. So Mario kind of looks like, I think he like this. He has a little mustache like that, and then he's got his little hat like that. And is this a spooky one though? Is Mario? Is this Luigi's Mansion? It's when you throw mansion into it, it makes it sound like it's a spooky kind of mansion. But is that the case, or have I just been duped to just draw Mario? Okay, there you go. And so then the good thing about Mario and Luigi is they look the same. So that is Mario, and it is also Luigi. I'm going with that. And then we've got here. We've got something here. We've got room here for some more seeping and more dripping of creatures. And again, my Spook Kids comic, I've been drawing some monsters, or getting some nice designs for some monsters that are going to appear in the comic in later episodes. And so it's been quite good fun to draw those. And I might show you one of those little characters now. There you go. Bit of dripping, bit of seeping. So have we got room here? Yeah. Okay, we can do here. Let's go. So one of the characters here is called Doreen. And Doreen looks like this. And she has the lips like that, and she has these kind of ears like that, and she wears Doreen basically. I don't want to give too much away, but Doreen is a lady who's kind of turned into a bit of a creature. Okay, so there's Doreen. Okay, that's Doreen there, and you can do that. That's fine. There's Doreen. She has a little coat like that. She has her ear. This is the thing that I kind of stopped doing. How about Sasquatch from Alpha Flight trick or treating with Chewbacca? Oh my word, that is an epic one. A Sasquatch. I loved him. We're gonna have to switch here. We're gonna have to flip that around. We've drawn Doreen. That was Doreen. I was talking about Doreen, and I turned around and saw the request. But yes, this is Doreen. So Doreen is going to be in the comic. So look out for Doreen. So let's get a little line in here for here, and let's get the old fish. Nothing below the fish. Time check. Okay, we've got. All right, I can treat you to another 10 minutes. I reckon we've got 10 more minutes in us. I reckon we have. And we're going to do a live launch of the comic as well. I'm going to hit that button live on the air. It's so exciting. How about Sasquatch from Alpha Flight trick or treating with Chewbacca? Now, I have to remember, I am going to switch pens because Sasquatch was orange, and I'm trying to think, this is like an epic, isn't it, really? So he's kind of like that, and it was his hair. He kind of had hair like that, from what I remember. And then I'm doing him like this, which is kind of how I'm remembering, he had teeth kind of like that, and you know, John Byrne, who's watching, would know. I can't remember if he had a nose. I think he did. I think he didn't. I'm not sure. But he's very hairy, and he's got his. Let's have a see. So what is it? If you think so, I'm going to do that face there, and then I'm going to put Chewbacca in here as well. And remember that Chewbacca kind of is. You've got to go there like that. Okay. Chewbacca, similar kind of thing going on here. Chewbacca, obviously, starting. He's got his hair like that. You do the impression, obviously. They're a similar kind of looking character, but one's orange and one's and Chewbacca is possibly a little bit smaller. Even though at this point, I am going to go in there with the nose. It really doesn't look like Sasquatch. It looks like some kind of really creepy thing. And they've got their trick or treating little buckets, like I got my pens here, okay. And he's got his bucket, and he's got little handles coming on here, and it's got a spooky kind of face like that on it, okay. And it's full of stuff. And then he's got his hairy arm like that coming here, and he's got his belt. Chewbacca's got his belt, obviously, and then Sasquatch, who really doesn't look like Sasquatch. This is a shocker, really. And he's got his similar kind of thing. He's holding his bag like that. And I need to redeem myself with a drawing to finish off, because this Sasquatch, I'm really sorry, John Byrne, especially because I've got John Byrne watching as well. Big John Byrne. We've got the thing here like that. We've got the nostrils, remember? And now let's have a see where Chewbacca's kind of like there, and he's got his legs like that, and he's got like that other one there, and then doing it like that. Get the old little wobble lines in there to show that he's moving, and his arms coming around like that. He's got his thing, and then Sasquatch is just kind of big. He's kind of hairy, so you're just drawing a lot of hair, really. And you get his little leg in here. He's got a similar leg, and they're kind of like that. So that's why. So he is big. He's just a bit more in the distance there, and that is those two rascals there. Check that out. How's that? It's kind of, it's kind of right. Draw a zombie, John Byrne, R2D2 holding a trident. Okay, right, I'm going to flip this one over here. I've got to be careful now because I'm okay. I've got a few sheets. I've got enough sheets. So let's flip it over here. And then before we do that, hang on, let's get the old thing in here. The old fish. Right. We're going to fill this one up now. This is going to be the final sheet. So let's pack it in. I've got a couple that I wanted to show you as well. So we're going to go with the classic skeleton. I like to draw my skeletons like this. So really simple. You can just do, again, you've got the eyes like that with the nostrils. And then like that, you can just look, simple. And there's going to be some skeletons coming up in the comic as well that I was talking about. Spook Kids. See, I might have mentioned it. I'm proud of it. It's a good comic. I really enjoyed drawing it. It's an upgrade. It's basically a reboot of this comic here. I'm leaning in to my library here. I launched this comic last year at the Thought Bubble Comic Festival, and I had plans for it to be a full series of comic books. Things went a bit awry. This year has been a bit odd. And so I regrouped, rethought, rebooted, and so the comic that is going to be launching today is a reworked version of that. That comic still stands. You can still enjoy it if you bought it. It's still a good comic, but it's quite kind of nice to be doing those same characters, but in a slightly different way. So yes, so there's going to be some skeletons in there. We've got a R2D2 holding a trident. R2D2. This is from Douglas again. I'm going to go blue here. So obviously we know we've got the thing R2D2, and he's kind of like that, and he's got his. That was the one thing we didn't do with the horns. I realise that now. So we've got the thing, and then he's got his little light in there. We didn't do the thing, his little antenna-y kind of thing. And then on what? Oh, here we go. Yes, what we can do. Okay, so we've got his things, and if you remember, R2 always has like a little panel that can open, and out of that panel it can have like a little thing that comes out of it to hold things. And in this instance, this particular time, because Douglas asked for it, he is holding. Let's have a look. Make sure we get it like that. A trident, which is basically a big fork. Okay, and he took it in like that. There's R2, and then you can get the leg in there. I mean, the way I draw it when I do these things, it's all about getting the lines in. Just getting the lines in. We're just getting the lines in. We're not trying to. And I'm going to do a few little things here for R2. Probably a few more buttons than he's actually got. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We're having fun. We know who it is. And boop. And then we can. Oh, this was a particularly good one. Good sound effect for R2 that I used to see in the comics. The read was kind of always a good sound. I was a big fan of that one. So whenever I draw R2D2, we get a read in there. Boop, boop, read. And then, okay. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. Lots of fun. My youngest loves your red telephone. You can call in if you want. It's there. The number's on the screen. Draw a zombie. Okay. Draw a zombie. In fact, do you know, have you guys been drawing a lot? I haven't even given you any challenges today. Hopefully you've been drawing along with me. I've just been inspiring you to draw along. But let's all... The first thing I'm going to draw, again, in my mental list, I wanted to draw this guy here. And I like to draw a good count. I drew a count last week at my friend's sales talk. Plain selling, my friend Russell. And I drew a count, and I've not really drawn a count before. 1, 2, you know, that's the count from 3, 4, the count from Sesame Street. And he's like that, slightly, that's my version there. So that's how you draw a count, okay? And somebody else says, draw a zombie. We drew a zombie before, didn't we? What was this? Did we draw? It was a zombie. What was it? It was a zombie something. A zombie bat. Well, a zombie is a similar kind of thing. Let's do. So then you've got the eye like that. Okay, we're doing the eye like that, and then you just got to make the noises. And it's a person, and he's kind of like I say, I was chatting to my close personal friend Charlie Adlard. Oh, here we go, and he's all about the zombies. He's got his arm curling around like that. And he's dripping. Again, we've got the drool and the dripping and the seeping, and there's a lot of that. And then a real curve kind of back, and then let's get another arm in there like that. And I think that's kind of. And then let's. Oh, here we go. Well, we can do the ground like that. He's coming out of the ground. He's got his little leg like that as well. But he's coming out of the ground. He's ready to. He's just been dug up. Or he's coming from the dead, and that's like that. There you go. How's that as a zombie for you? Look at that. That's all right. It's quite nice. Sometimes when I turn around and see them, then I think Baby Yoda with horns. One for me. One for my Halloween homies. Okay. I'm going to bank that. I'm going to bank Baby Yoda with horns. We did. I'm going to draw. No, I'm going to draw Baby Yoda with horns. So Baby Yoda with horns. So Baby Yoda, if you don't know, so Baby Yoda is kind of very serene, and it's basically like you're drawing Yoda, but everything just seems a little bit bigger because he's a baby. So his ears just look big, I think, and he has his ears, and kind of like that, and then he's not got the wrinkly lip. If you were drawing Yoda, you'd do little lines here to make it a little wrinkly because he's old. But this is Baby Yoda. He's not old. He's new, but he's not even Yoda. He's the child. Okay, the child, because he can't be Baby Yoda because this is set after Return of the Jedi. So, but everyone calls him Baby Yoda because no one knows what make Yoda is, what species Yoda is. So. He's just been nicknamed as Baby Yoda, but don't kid yourselves, it can't be Baby Yoda because the Mandalorian is set after Return of the Jedi, when Yoda has died. So unless Yoda then comes back as another baby, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I'm not writing this. I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling. Baby Yoda with horns, kind of like that. That's how Baby Yoda looks like with horns. And then we'll do the little lines on the horns like that. And that is Baby Yoda with horns. And let's have a. Oh, and he sits in his little thing, doesn't he? I nearly forgot that. There you go. So all these little things that you have to remember as cartoonists, the defining little features or the characteristics or the things that they are seen in or holding. And if you put Baby Yoda in this kind of like sort of egg, kind of Mork from Mindy egg, Mork and Mindy and Mork from Mork. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been a long morning, and he's got his little coat, and he's got his little hands like that. There you go. And there's Baby Yoda. We'll do these little lines there to show the little bit of the hovering, so he's not on the ground. And there we go. Well, do you know what? I think that is a perfect time to end scene. We are done. Well, thank you very much for joining in this Halloween special of Spooky Toons. I'm so pleased that you join me, and hopefully it brightened up your Halloween a little bit. But let's get to some business before I do my final sign off. You're still going to be able to see me, but I'm going to come away from my face. So I'm going to now launch my new comic, Spook Kids, on Ko-fi. We are ready. Let's do this. It is live right now. Is it live? Error. Try again in a minute. Oh my word. Will it be live right after the show? I will fix that after the show. And do not worry, it'll be live after the show. And you can check it out. Yes, Ko-fi, K-O, can you read that? Ko-fi.com. Mark makes comics, Mark with a C. And share your drawings. If you've drawn anything spooky today, I want to see all the entrails that you've drawn on all the spooky things. Please share them. Again, hashtag Mark Makes Comics or at Mark Makes Comics, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Carrier Pigeon, the whole deal. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want you guys to stay well. The world is crazy, but it will get better, and we're going to be okay. All right. So stay well. Happy Halloween. Stay safe tonight. Safe distance. Eat the sweets that your parents have given you. Just wolf them down. And just enjoy yourselves. But stay well, stay safe, and see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.